Hey guys, Jeff Rowland here with Stegela Success Mastery. I am a business coach, I am a business owner, and I am here and today actually we're going to be talking about different personality types. Specifically for today, a lot of people call them different colors, or they refer to it as a different thing, like maybe fire, they might call it a shark, some people go by elements, animals, but we right here with Stegela Success, we go by color types. And so there's red, yellow, blue, and green. Today we're going to be talking about red and just having a great discussion about it and ways to recognize, how to talk to them, and just how to get more interaction with them. And with doing that, you're going to be able to become a more effective closer. And the big thing about this whole course is you must know your product. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, you must know your product and your services. And a lot of people think their product and service is actually something physical. Your product is actually people. So you must understand people and understand effective communication in order to persuade people in the right direction that you want them to go, right? So they're not going to, people, I understand they're not going to be buying your product or service, they're buying you. And, sure, your product, it might be able to help them. Your service might be able to help them. But, truth of the matter is that people only do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So you must know how to relate to different personality types and be able to relate to that person. So remember, people like to do business with people who are like themselves as well. So, before I get started, that's a little bit about myself, and I apologize for keep on going on. But if everybody, so Jennifer, if you'd like to introduce yourself real quick, we'd really appreciate it.
Hey everyone, it's me, Jennifer Miem, and I'm an entrepreneur and here at the member of Success Circle family. And what I do is I'm a mobile videographer, and what I do is capture people's life stories and memories. That is me, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having this platform for today.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jennifer. Orlando, how's things going with you? Could you introduce yourself? Let everybody know what you do.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Orlando Turnland. I am from San Diego, California, and I'm active duty Navy Chief. I'm also an entrepreneur. I run a social media agency called Valkyrie Media Consulting, and what we do is we run social media accounts for cosmetic surgeons and other professionals that don't have the time to run social media accounts but want to attract more customers to them. Very happy, very honored to be a part of this success circle and this morning wake up call training. So thank you for your time.
Thanks, Orlando. I got to get used to unmuting myself. How's it going, Marion? Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Marion. I own a photo booth company and also event photography. I dabble in a bit of all kinds of different areas in photography, but I'm mainly focusing on the photo booth and also studying entrepreneurship to build other businesses and to be able to help others.
Awesome. Thank you, Marion.
Thank you.
Mr. Steven, can you please give a brief introduction about yourself? Before you actually get started, just want everybody to know that Steven is somebody that I really respect, everybody here really respects and look up to and very much learn from. So go for it, Steven.
Jeff, we already hired you. Don't need to suck up no more. Hey guys, this is Steven Dela Cruz. I'm Steven Dela Cruz, and I'm an entrepreneur and investor. I actually just had breakfast right now, actually just this very moment, with executives from Walmart. So that's very exciting, and I can't wait to share more information with our Success Circle family this Tuesday, next Tuesday. Anyways, yeah, glad to be here. Jeff, rocking it. My wife and I moved here from the Bay Area to start businesses, and here we are, and I'm loving everything about this. All right, guys.
Sounds great. Thank you. Hey, Ken, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think you can hear us, Ken. So we're just going to go ahead and get started real quick. So as I was saying,
plugging in his microphone.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Ken, can you hear us?
Can you give a thumbs up, Ken, if you can hear us?
Can you hear us at all, Ken? Thumbs up, Ken?
Looks like he's still trying to figure it out.
All right, so just out of respect for all the viewers and everybody that might have other things going on, we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, Ken.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good. Great to have you on, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself real quick because this is going live, baby.
Okay. I'm going to park the car real quick.
All right, brother.
Okay. My name is Ken Capacetti, OmniFit SD, Stegela Success Mastery. I have you, buddy.
Awesome. Great to have you on, man. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it and really get into the meat and potatoes. Feel free to unmute yourself, anybody. Feel free to interrupt me and let me know what's going on and your thoughts on things. We'll try to hold questions towards the end, but if there's something that you really want to get off your chest and ask, feel free to write it down or just interrupt us and let's keep it going. You know, we want to be very, very interactive, and that's where everybody's going to get the most value. Is the more you participate, is the more value you're going to receive. All right, so let's get this started. So as I was saying, because now Ken is here, you can actually watch this live later or when we upload it again. But your product or service is not necessarily your product or service. When you're in sales and when you're in business for yourself, you have to be in sales. And what that is your product and your service is people. So you got to know people, you got to understand people, different personality types, how to talk to them, how to connect with them, and how to mirror them. So we'll get into mirroring in another series. But yeah, just letting you know how all of that plays out and what this is for. So some of the strengths of red people. Some people call them shark, red, fire, whatever it might be. They're very decisive. They're quick to make decisions. They're very goal oriented. They're achievement driven. They focus on getting results. They're very independent. They can take risks. Tends to take charge in a lot of situations. Very initiative. Self-starters, persistent, self-sufficient. They're very driven, right? They're very, very driven to finish products more quickly and effectively than other people. So, and that makes them extremely competitive. They enjoy challenges and many times enjoy change. Does everybody pretty much agree with that? Or is that something new for everybody? Okay, perfect. Okay, and then we get into, I have about 5 pages of notes because I just love this topic about personalities. Some other things that you might really notice about red people and their demeanor and their character is that they can be impatient. I'll keep in mind, not everything is 100% on here. Everybody tends to vary. People are able to be in the cut and really tone down on their certain colors in order to blend in. And that's something that reds also do. They like to blend in and observe as well. But going back to what I was talking about, so sometimes they could be impatient. They want you to get straight to the point. They don't really like a lot of small talk. They can be very blunt. Sometimes some of us might be able to relate is that sometimes we could be poor listeners. Impulsive, demanding. We're also sometimes we can be emotionally disconnected from people. Because sometimes we see our projects have more importance than people, right? So we can be insensitive to other people's feelings. So these are some of the weaknesses and, some of the shortcomings, but this is what it is. Many talk over people. Sometimes we might talk over people because they're not really getting what they want, because that person may be slower to act or speak. So that's also a thing if you're yellow and you're trying to get your words out or you're not taking action, a red is going to take charge. All right. Okay, they truly fear like inactivity and getting bored by routines and the mechanics of things, which is the details. So don't try to bore a red with too many details. You know what I mean? It's more about hey. So it's more about they can't really sit inside of a cubicle or be like stagnant for too long. Some might consider them ADD because they always need to be doing something. They have to keep it moving, right? So Reds, they have to keep it moving. They have to have challenges in front of them. They have to be busy, and they have to have that change, fast-paced and task-oriented. So a lot of people are motivated by, so another thing is like a lot of people I feel are motivated by different things, right? Depending on your color, you're going to be motivated by different things. And some of those things that Reds can be motivated by is, they're motivated by results and challenges and action. They're motivated by money and lifestyle. And in addition to that, I really truly believe within myself as well, they're motivated by the recognition of achievement. You know what I mean? So to able to get more done in a lot less time than the average, that's one of their capabilities, is being able to do things. If you give them a checklist, they can get it all done. All they need to know is what needs to be done, and they're going to take action on that. They're great at initiating communication and giving a direction, but they can be bad listeners, right? Because they always want to be. They have that natural tendency to take charge. Is everything so far making sense with everybody? Awesome. Any kind of feedback from you, Mr. Steven?
So what do you think? Because sometimes it's hard to ask someone, "Hey, are you a red?" Right? You can't just go up to someone and ask them, "Are you a red?" So what do you guys think? Everyone else, what do you guys think? The kind of jobs and the kind of hobbies and the kind of things a red personality type has. Like, how do you determine a red? What do you guys think?
Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and just let's interact.
I think a red is somebody that acts fast. They have an idea and they act fast, and then you see them already getting things done.
Yeah, that's a great way to recognize it. Jennifer, you have anything?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think if people don't truly understand people, a red might come up off arrogant, confident, and hard to approach.
Okay. So what kind of jobs and hobbies do you think that you would find Reds in?
So I'm gonna give a little bit of a insight.
Great.
So I just want to give like a few for instances of who Reds are. So there's some very prominent Reds that are out in American society now. So if you know anything about sports, you would know Tom Brady is definitely a hard Red, and so is people like say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Very, very competitive people. Sometimes so competitive that they're that the win at all cost.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the win at all cost mentality is some of the things that Reds display. There's different levels of Reds. There's a functioning Red and a dysfunctional Red also. So a functional Red is someone who is aware of their primary color, but is also very aware of other colors and mimics or makes himself a kind of like a chameleon in sorts, to where they know, okay, I'm a Red, but I know how to talk to a yellow. I know how to talk to a blue. I know how to talk to a green. Then there's also the dysfunctional Reds, right, who don't know how to talk to those other colors, and they think everyone else is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So there's different levels of it, and the main goal of being whatever color you are is accepting that, and then knowing how to relate and how to close a yellow. Even if you're a hard Red, You still know how to relate to a yellow, how to close them when it comes to doing business, or a blue, knowing the different color schemes or the color personalities, and being able to make yourself a chameleon of sorts to be able to relate to those other people so you can become a more effective entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And I truly believe like if once you start learning all those personality types, it's definitely gonna help you out. It's just dealing and interacting with people effectively. Because the way I talk, I don't know that everybody there's always going to be room for improvement, and that's definitely one of the things that I feel like I can definitely improve on consistently every single day. Especially within our group, we have like a lot of yellow, so trying to adapt and figure out a good way to talk to them and to still get to that end result is going to be key. So Ken, what's up, man? You have anything to add?
I say Steven is a hardcore red. You guys probably heard it before, where when I first met Steven, we were over at the pyramid, and I straight up confronted him, saying, "Well, why are you like that?" I didn't know how red would be. I straight up confronted him, and he explained it to me. I was like, "Oh, that's what it is." So I one-on-one together. I found out Steven's a big-time red.
Ken asked me if I hated him.
Yeah, I said what?
And I was like, I don't hate you, man. He's like, I feel like you hate me.
Yeah. So that's I think one of the big things that I've noticed about myself, and other Reds can actually attest to this, is we don't really like wishy-washy people. We want you to be able to make a decision, and if you don't make that decision, we're gonna help you make it. We're gonna make it for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, you definitely when dealing with somebody like Steven or myself or Orlando or hardcore, definitely more hardcore. You definitely need to be able to make decisions. Even if it's not the right decision, we can respect the fact that you made a decision, I believe.
Right. I think that being a red and then moving into the coaching field is it's one of the most paramount things that you can learn is how to not turn off someone who's a yellow or a green or blue, but kind of guide them and speak their language, right? And so like some of the things that you would do for a yellow, if you're a red, is you would speak their language. You would say, hey, at first I would know that yellows are all about nurturing. They're all about team. They're more about other people, more for themselves. So you would approach people from a different point of view, knowing that, okay, hey, yeah, you know what, I really want, me as a coach, I want this person to make a decision. I want him or her to make a move. Okay, so how can I best relate to her or him in order to get the desired results?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, and that all goes along with leadership. They say that some of the best leaders, what leadership is still believing in somebody even when they let you down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So still being able to push them. So that's great. Thanks, Orlando.
Yeah,
keep on going if you got some more fire, man.
Yeah,
I was
just so there's a gamut of people that you're always going to encounter. And one of the first things that you want to do is you want to find out what kind of personality. So you can check someone's personality really by just appearance, not even saying anything to them.
Absolutely.
Because, like say for instance, Reds, they tend to be more flashier when they dress at times. Reds, they like nice things. They like the nice suits, the nice cars, nice houses, because that's what, like, Reds are they're it's kind of weird to say it sometimes, but sometimes they base their worth on their stuff. Right? And so like Reds, they tend to wear the higher end products, like Gucci, Prada, stuff like that. Some dysfunctional ones do that, right? Because they don't realize that they're like that. But like some of them, They like the nice things. They like those, high-end products because it shows other people around them without saying a word. Hey, look at my status.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
So someone that's wearing like a nice Rolex, you're not going to spend $6,000 on a watch, if you're not a red. That just doesn't happen. And there's some people that are like greens that say, well, that doesn't make sense, to make something to buy a watch like that, but they'll buy the Rolex. So they're really a red pretending that they're trying to be green. You know what I'm saying? And so like, people that spend, $500 or $200-$300 on a pair of Gucci shoes, someone who has like, if they can, afford, the Maserati or, a nice flashy car, they're gonna, those are telltale signs of being a red. Someone who's very well groomed all the time, nice big jewelry, things like that. You can tell, like just standing in Starbucks, if you just, stand in any store and just be observant, you can see, who you can point out in a crowd. Oh, that's a red, that's a red, that's a red. Reds are, even if you're just observant, reds are more vocal. They talk louder than others. When yellows and greens, they tend to be more, keyed low when in their tone of voice. Reds, blues, those guys, they speak loud. Firm handshakes, someone who ever gives you a really, really firm handshake, they're either a blue and they don't realize, that they're, having just a whole bunch of fun, or they're a red and they're going to like try to break your arm off because they're trying to prove how strong they are. You know what I'm saying? So someone who with a very, very firm handshake, it can be, things that, nonverbals, body language, someone who stands up, and has hands out on their hips like that. Someone who tends to sit at the front or migrates to the front of a crowd. Those are telltale signs of red. Someone who loves to speak, someone who wants the attention. Those are telltale signs of being a red also.
Yeah, and all that, and that's the thing about it, is like it's all, even the way their posture, like you were saying, they stand up tall, and it's all because they have that confidence. So they always have that confidence in themselves, and so there's like you actually went over everything that I was about to talk about, Orlando. Me and you like on the same page, man.
My bad, man. I didn't mean to hijack your train.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. This is great. It's more interaction. It's not a lecture, and you definitely know what you're doing. So that's what's up. Definitely appreciate it. So keep on going if you have something. That's awesome.
No, bro, I'm good. You know what? I hate to jump out of here, but I actually have an appointment with my daughter Eris. We have to go to her ballet and tap class that starts here soon. Okay. And so we've got to jam out. But I appreciate your guys' time, and thank you for helping me. Get a little bit more insight into training and other personalities. And I appreciate you letting me talk for a minute. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to see about having you co-host with me, because obviously me and you it actually seems like we went through some of the same training.
Yeah, no problem at all.
All right, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna jam out, guys. We got about 10 minutes before we got to get over there. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
All right, you guys have a great day. All right, take care.
All right, so guys, a lot of the stuff that Orlando was talking about, very, 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 very true. He definitely knows what he's talking about. So other than myself, and the Stegela team, definitely want to talk to Orlando. You know what I mean? So, as I was mentioning, like a lot of the negatives of, like we like to make our own decisions, it can be self-centered, egotistical kind of thing. A lot of that is all about self-awareness. So now that somebody that might be red, he can actually recognize those weaknesses. Now he has a self-awareness to actually improve on those. You know what I mean? So let me get back to it. Anybody have any questions or anything like that so far? No? All right. So let's see. So some other, once you start recognizing those nonverbal once you start reckoning all those non-verbal characteristics, you already have it in your mind how to start talking to them. Some of the ways that you could talk to them is obviously because they have like an ego and they second and third place isn't really for them. They like to win and be ahead of the game. Is a great way for you to interact with the red that you're trying to sell a product to or your service you sell yourself to, is to be agreeable. A feed to their ego. They like to talk about the cars, the money, the watches. Feed all of that. Because obviously that's the kind of thing that attracts them. You know what I mean? They don't really like a lot of small talk. It's more about like, let's get to the point kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so yeah, they hate waiting on other people or waiting on things, and they don't like to be followers. So does all of this make sense to everybody so far? Jen, do you have anything to input, or Marion, or anybody?
Maybe another part would be how can other colors then communicate to reds effectively? Because, for instance, as a yellow, sometimes being direct doesn't come natural. So maybe there's some exercises in all the colors, maybe even role play, like talk to me, because I'm a yellow. Now, how can you talk to me? And then maybe after that feedback, and then talk again, but in a more like yellow way, or me in a more red way to you. So then we can actually apply how we can really communicate with other colors, but do it in our circle because it's a safe place to make errors or improve versus being out there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And so for me personally, I don't like being a red. I don't like to be talked at. You know what I mean? I like to be talked to. I could deal with direction. I don't like, one thing for sure is I don't like being sold to. Actually, as a salesman, I do like being sold to, from what Steven has told me. So right now I love being sold to, but the thing about it is you can't close me. So the thing about reds is you can't really close them. You got to give them options. And because they're a red and they like challenges, challenge them for something. That's a great way to talk to them. Talk about it more on their end. Hold on real quick. Mr. Steven, what's going on?
Hey, so when it comes to yellows talking to reds, here's a prime example. So I'm a red, and my wife is a yellow, right? So I'm a red-blue, and we'll talk more about the colors of red-blue later on. But for me, I'm a red-blue. My wife is a yellow-green. So how we've learned to communicate with each other is whenever I'm supposed to be direct to the point with her, I'm supposed to tell her how much I appreciate her. Hey, I really appreciate you making all this effort, but I would love to give you a little different feedback on a different way of doing it. That's the way I would say it. Now, for a red, it'd be like, no, you idiot, this is how you do it, But for her to communicate to a red, because reds love their egos, and reds think they're always right, even though we're freaking wrong. The yellows, being yellow, be true to their yellow. To be true to their yellow, what they can do is the yellow can say, like, for example, it is so yellow of Gen meme. They call everyone Mr. Steven, Miss Angela, da-da-da-da. That's a very yellow thing to say. I mean, it's all about respect and love for another person, right? So there's nothing wrong. So, but because of that, the way you can do it to correct or to even go bluntly to a red is to feed their ego and say, hey, Mr. Jeff, I really appreciate you showing me all that stuff, or I really appreciate you sharing all your information with me, but I would love to suggest this, that, and the other, that this would be a great product for you, or I really would love to propose that we move forward, opposed to a red saying, hey, you ready to get started? Right? Because that's a red way of closing the deal. Hey, you ready to get started? Let's go. A yellow could propose and say, rather than say ready to get started, more of a yellow would be say, let's say, rather than saying, are you ready to get started for a red, a yellow say, are we ready to move forward? Are we ready to include themselves? And that way it's more comfortable for the yellow, opposed to being very direct with the red, right? Because yellow, for example, Angela would say, I'm a yellow, I'm not comfortable telling point blank this, whatever else. You need to get started. You need to buy this. She's better now. I've trained her to be a little bit red. But ultimately, for yellows, I think what would help them to approach and close a yellow is to include themselves. I would close a red. So yellow closing a red. Say, hey, Mr. Bob, are we ready to get started? Hey, Bob, are we do you feel comfortable? Do we feel comfortable with all the information provided to move forward? You know what I mean? So that way, it's still being yellow. You're not feeling like I'm uncomfortable being so direct. Like, for example, Angela back then, I was like, hey, just tell them you're ready to sign a contract for the daycare. And she said, so you're ready to sign a contract? And after she said that, her pulse started sweating. You know, because she can't wait. She's like, oh my gosh, it's silent. It's like, whoa, this is too much. You know, for Reds, we're like, give me an answer. You know, for her, she wasn't like that. She's not like that. So I would say my suggestion is to include yourself. So are we ready to get started? So that way the yellow feels comfortable to close them without saying you.
Mm-hmm. So,
Demi, what do you think? Do you think that'll be something more around your type of vocabulary?
Yes, I love the.
hey, so Mr. Stevens, so everything that I've talked about so far, does it make sense? Is it
Yeah, you're on point. Yes, sir.
all right? Looks like I'm getting the right training.
Yeah, you're on point.
Awesome. So, I think another good thing to do is another way that I really like to bring up about talking and knowing how to manipulate or persuade a red is to challenge them, right? So let's say, for instance, I might say, "Hey, Steven, I have a friend. He made 6 figures in 6 months. I wonder if you can do it." And what does Steven do, right? He makes 7 figures in 5 months. So that's a great because remember, Reds like to be challenged. So for me to push Orlando, maybe I might say something that, hey, I know somebody that did this in this amount of time. You know what I mean? They recruited 30 people in 15 days. I don't know if you can do that. He's gonna try his hardest to do it, right? So they're always up for that challenge. So that's definitely a way. So if you find a red, try to find a way to challenge them. You know what I mean? Definitely a way to challenge them. Oh yeah. So what's his name? He was going to make his decision today about our services. I can't really fill in that spot because this other guy. Well, like let's say somebody says they're going to think about it. Like, you know what? I like your services, Marion. I like your services, but let me hold off for a bit and let me talk to my partner. But if that person, they have that firm handshake, they wear the flashy clothes, they have that great posture, and you can see that confidence in them, and you're getting the feeling that they're red. Let them know that you're like, oh, okay, you know what? I understand what you're saying, and unfortunately, we could be booking something at a time, so I don't know, blah 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 blah. So make them help them to help challenge them to make a decision right away is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great idea.
So, and obviously with the yellow, I'm not really, not to get into too much of it like a yellow, but obviously with a yellow or a blue or a green, you would close them differently and help them, persuade them to make that decision within their language, their language, which is,
Yes.
which is take action now kind of speech. Let's see. So another thing that I've noticed is a lot of times it's a red is more about other than like coaches within our group, other than within Success Circle, the people that are trained to be people or people person. Many other reds are more about like I was saying, the details or not the details, but the facts and what's in it for them. So get to the point, like what's in it for them. You know what I mean? Show them how you're gonna benefit them. And remember, them, not. It's because a lot of them are very, self-centered. So
Okay.
it's always gonna be about what's in it for them. Not all the time with all of us, but as a typical hard red that's not really like us. You know what I mean? And
Right.
for me, I'm a red, but I'm always finding out what's in the best interest of everybody else. So when you tell me what it's about for me, the only people that can tell me that is well, outside of Success Circle that's trying to sell me a product or a service. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So let's see. So I'm just going through all of my notes and everything like that, and just like moving around here and there. Is there any kind of questions that anybody else might have right now?
I actually have a question.
Great.
So I understand like challenging the reds, but is there times where you're challenged, or is a way the delivery of the challenging you sound like they're putting you down? So how is challenging you? In what way can we talk to you as red to challenge you, but not necessarily like assume that you cannot? It's more like I feel like that's a more like in a positive way. How can we word that?
Okay, so I don't. I think everybody would have a different way, but for my personal approach, when the way I talk to people, I think first of all, I think business. I truly believe that business is game. The way you talk to people, the word game is basically what we use today for saying, oh, he has game, she got game, and it's more about the way that people use it in a term. The more people you can. The more people you can get attracted to you, right? Or the more people you can date. Oh, you got game. But I feel like business definitely applies to that same concept of game. So it's the way that you deliver a message to somebody, and with a smile. People love it when you smile. If you say it to them, it's all because your body language is going to speak more than just your verbal. They say I'm not sure about the exact figures or the exact numbers, but they say 7% of what 80% of what you say, or 90% of what you say, is going to be nonverbal. So the way that you smile at the person when you say it, or even just like the pre setup could also be something like. I'm not really good with imitating a yellow actually, but it's how would you deliver it actually, Jennifer? And let's see if we can. Let's say if you were going to challenge me, because you challenge. Sometimes you ask great questions on our accountability videos, and that's all through typing. So that doesn't take much. That doesn't take much out of your comfort zone. So if we were to talk and you were to challenge me, how would you say it?
So it would be like this. See, now I'm blanking out. Just I'm thinking of the comments.
No, just use real life stuff that we talk about. Like, for instance, today.
Oh.
Okay.
So maybe the challenge should be so Jeff. So I know you are the coach now, and we're so happy that you are our coach for Stegela. Mm-hmm. So the question I have personally is, how can you connect more to us? How can you serve us more effectively and really get us to the next level, us being yellows?
I'm going to ask Steven for his input, but first my input is I really like how you deliver that, because you did feed to the ego, and then you asked a legitimate question that questions my ability. You know what I mean? It didn't come off. What do you call it? It didn't really come off challenging. It came off more as like a serious question that was legitimate. So, Steven, are you there?
Yeah. So, what was the question again?
So Jen, she came up to me and asked me. She's just trying to role play with me right now. She said, "So, I love that you're a coach. Congratulations. Now, how do you feel that you're going to be able to provide value and help people move forward?" So, for me personally, I think that's a great way she set that up without sounding like she's challenging me, because she fed to my ego. And then she also just asked a legitimate question that is going to challenge that in my own head, I'm challenging myself to really to prove myself. It's more like she's asking me a question that I'm going to ask myself and challenge my own abilities. So does that sound about right?
Well, I would have been like, I'm sorry, but this is not a political race. I already won. Just joking. But no, but really though. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. That definitely is a valid question. So the question is then, I think she did just fine asking that question um, to actually get the question answered. I think that, yeah, I think she did just fine with that.
So
So the
feeding to the
question
ego.
is, was that offensive? Um, yeah, I think that feeds the ego. She was pretty much telling him telling him like, hey, congratulations, that you're our coach. Now, how are you going to do this, right? So I think there are people out there that will beat around the bush.
Yeah.
And when they beat around the bush, that's very, very, that's not yellow, blue, green, or red. That's just beating around the bush.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I absolutely appreciate about Jennifer Meme is that she's yellow, but she can also be very direct.
Yes.
And when she does it, she'll be very direct and then apologize to you after. So I think that's perfectly great. So it's like, okay, Jeff, how are you gonna improve this? How are you gonna, whatever else? So I think she did just that's a perfect example of how to talk to a red. But now what I want to know, what would be great to role play is, how do you quote unquote close a red, or how do you sell to a red, right? If you're selling, let's give an example. If you're trying to sell a water bottle, how would you approach a red? How would you approach a red about water bottle?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Okay, for me, being a red, if I was to close a red, it'd be more about the benefit for them. So I'd say, hey man, check out this water right here is gonna do this for you. It's gonna quench your thirst. It's gonna provide. Well, actually, they don't like too many details, but to let them know that this water is gonna help you and it's gonna help you quench your thirst, this and that. But don't go into too much. So go ahead and buy this.
So how are these people here for Ken, Marion, and Jennifer with their services? How would you suggest to them to close a red, or to maybe even just talk to a red about their services and products?
Okay, so I like to get everybody's feedback on this, but first, I think that the first step is building rapport, and the best way to build rapport with the red is feeding the ego. Hey, nice watch. As soon as I meet somebody, I always compliment them. You know what I mean? Hey, nice watch, nice shoes, nice shirt, nice dress. If it's a woman, Ken, you definitely gotta compliment the shoes, regardless. Compliment the shoes. That's big. But actually, let's say for Jen, let's actually brainstorm on this. So for Jen, with your product and service, let's see, yours is La Vie, or is it your meal prep?
Oh, that's still what if, but let's focus on Livy, because that's pretty much, it has a base already, if you don't mind.
Okay. So to close a red on your product, let's see. Let me think. This, I love the way Steven is challenging me right now, because it's gonna definitely help me learn as well.
Can I say something?
Absolutely. This is interactive.
Maybe the value that she can give,
Mm-hmm.
the things, the memories she can save for the client, and it's to the point.
Okay. So Jen, does that sound good, or is that more? Do you feel that's more of a yellow way of approaching?
The principle of it is correct, but the question is the delivery to a red. That's always been my challenge. It's like, how can I deliver the same message, but in the language of...
Okay, so here you go. I would say for Jennifer Meme, so just for the recording, Jennifer Meme, she does a thing called La Vie Moments by Design, and she records and captures people's stories of like their life story and their whole history and who they are, and she captures them and tells lifestyle videos. So, anyways, so that's what Jennifer Meme does. So I would say is for Jennifer Meme, if you're talking to say closing the kids, for the parents, so the parents are older, they're about to die soon. I would say, hey, John and Barbara, Your mom's just a sweet, sweet lady. Listen, you guys you guys are really blessed to have a sweet family, and I definitely see where you, Johnny, have got all your charm and great looks, whatever else, from your mom. Hey, so your mom, she's, how old is she? Oh, she's 85 years old. Right. John, what I offer is I offer moments by design. So I actually capture her life story. And, what goes up and never goes down is people's age. And so unfortunately, your mom eventually is going to be leaving soon. And I would love to be the one to capture your mom's life, to be able to pass down to your children when they get older, because right now your kid's only 1 year old. So they know who grandma was. You would hate to have to explain who grandma was and not really get the full essence, would you? So you ask them the question that says, like, look, this is a no-brainer. You would hate to have to answer your kids when they're 15 years old, who is grandma and who is your parents. So why don't you show them a video, right? And so that's how I would say for a Red, to talk to a Red, is an ego, great family, you guys are awesome, and that's where you get your charm from, your mom. But listen, this is why I want to get your mom on video, because you would hate to go to your kids who are 1 year old and have to explain who grandma was. Might as well show them the essence of it through video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that way they go, oh, you're right. Right. So what I offer, John and Barbara, is I offer a video service that can totally capture your mom's story, interview her, be patient with her, go with what she wants to do. She wants to go bingo, let's go bingo. And, in a sense, for the next 4 hours, you get free babysitting. And they'll start laughing about that because they'll know, oh, yeah, there's a lot of patience needed with my mom, especially if they're Red. A lot of Reds don't have time for their old family members because they have no patience. So if you say, hey, free babysitting for the next 4 hours, then boom, bada boom, bada bing, they'll be like, all right, well, that's worth it in itself.
Yeah. I think another thing with Red is for me personally, I don't know if it's because we've been in sales and everything like that, or we have a keen ear to it, but we recognize when somebody is trying to close us, like it can be too obvious. So I like Steven's approach because it's more emotional. You know what I mean? And people base their decisions off of emotion. 85% of the world, supposedly, maybe more, base their decisions off of emotion, and that's a very emotional approach. And so, like most Reds, I can't close them by asking them closing questions. It's more about touching their emotion and then letting
everyone, really, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different subject on closing through the emotions.
Yeah.
So my closing, when I close people, I was like, hey, what would it look like for you to have, for me, for my coaching, what would it look like to you to have, what would it feel like to achieve all your goals in 1 year? What would that make you feel? That make me feel amazing. What would your wife say to you about this? Oh my gosh, my wife would be so proud of me. And how would that make you feel if your wife was so proud of you? Oh my gosh, I would feel like $100, $1,000,000, because my wife's proud of me, I achieved all my goals. Great. So what's holding you back from achieving those feelings? Hitting my goals. How can you hit your goals this year? Well, listen, last year you didn't have a coach and you didn't hit your goals. So this year you gotta do something different. What's gonna be different? And they'll be like, oh, what's gonna be different? I'm gonna hire you. Bada boom, bada bing. So for Jennifer Meme, for her services, is the aspect of, hey, how would it feel to be able to have your mom's life, your mom's story, your mom's personality, your mom's laugh captured and preserved for years and decades to come? How would that feel that when your mom passes, because your mom's going to pass, unfortunately, but how would it feel to have your mom pass, but you just still have a piece of her in 10 years from now? How would that feel? Oh, that would feel fantastic. I love my mom. And then you say, you're fantastic because you love your mom. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Barbara, what's holding you back from signing up today? Okay, let's sign up.
So what I'm seeing a good theme and a good thing to keep in mind, correct me if I'm wrong, but with the 4 personality types, right? You're just gonna feed that little portion of them that's different. So for Red, obviously it's the ego, right? So you're gonna feed their ego. For a Yellow, you might feed their caring side, and then and then get to their emotion, right? Red,
Right.
you're going to get ego and then emotion. Yellow, help carry side and then emotion. Green side details and then emotion. Blue,
Right.
talk about the party and then emotion.
Right.
So, yeah.
So keep in mind, everyone in life, this is Tony Robbins for you. Tony Robbins says everyone is driven by passion or pain.
Mm-hmm.
Passion or pain. So now, what brings someone passion and that ecstasy of excitement and love is determined on their color.
Mm-hmm.
So for green, they're more about bottom line. Give me the numbers, give me how much it's going to cost,
Mm-hmm.
why would I need this, right? For red, it's more about what's in it for me, what do I get out of it. For yellow, it's how will this help everyone else, right? For blue, it's how we have fun with this. So you've got to find their passion, which is their color, and then their pain, which is also their color. So now how you build passion and pain is through the emotion. And so that's the reason why you ask these questions that are all about the emotional, which touches on to their colors, what's important to them. So if for yellow, blue, red, green, everyone fears missing out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone fears missing out. Now for red is what it makes you feel to be on top. How would it make you feel to be, so you have 7 brothers and sisters. How would you feel to be able to gift this video to your brothers and sisters?
Absolutely.
On the day of your mom's passing? How would that feel? Oh my gosh, I would love to give this gift to them. Because now they're on top. They're the ones feeling like I'm the one who's a head honcho. I'm giving this to you guys, fools.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so for Marian and her photo booth, right? She's in a photo booth. So you're gonna touch a lot more of you're gonna touch more of the blues and the yellows. That's more who your target market is. But how you would close a red, I would say, is the aspect of, hey, you could. I mean, I'm a photographer, so I don't want to talk down about my people. But honestly, you can have the photographer there less hours because they're more expensive, charging by the hour, $300, $500 per hour. Where you can have a photo booth, have the photographer there for the main events, for the fun group shots, photo booth. The red would be like, you know what, Marian, you're saving me money. That's so true. Because my photographer, Barrera Photography, charges $300 an hour, where you only have a big old package here for $700 for the full reception, right? So it's like,
Right.
So I would say is you touch the red when it comes to the money, and when it comes to the blues, of course, are the people and the fun. The yellows are a lot more the community, but reds will talk about more about money than it is about community. They don't care about community. They care about more money.
So is the red about more saving or getting a lot in the package than? Yeah,
so sometimes reds, if they have a lot of money, they don't care about saving money. They care about more having the value, the benefit of like, well, here's the deal. All right, here we go, Johnny. Reds are more bottom line, and they're more direct. So, hey, or for example, reds, they're all about them. So, hey, Jeff, you love Mary, right? Yeah, I love Mary. That's why you're marrying her. Of course you love Mary. So, look, Mary, let's say, and Mary's she's a red-blue. So, look, Mary loves to have fun. You agree with Jeff? Yes, Jeff agrees. Mary loves to have fun. So, you guys are going to have a ton of friends. So, Mary would love this photo booth because she's all about the community. She has a ton of friends. She's a social butterfly. Now, I know, Jeff, you're not that social of a guy, but I know Mary is, and I know you love Mary. Now, what's happening here? You're talking to Jeff in a selfish way because he loves his damn wife or fiance, whatever it is. Get it? Not trying to jump the gun over here. Don't show her this recording. Anyway, but you see what I'm saying? Though is the aspect of you're jumping, you're going, you can't tackle Jeff because Jeff is what are you? You're a red green or whatever else or red green. Yeah. Red green. So he's a red green. So he's all about saving money, about the mind, and he's all about bottom line. Okay. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. He's a Filipino. So here's the deal though. So you go, okay, well, we know he's a red, so he's selfish. Well, I can't give it to him because he doesn't care about pictures. He doesn't care about the community. So, but listen, I do know he cares about his girl. Hey, yeah. How would it feel for you? How would it feel for you, Jeff, to be able to say, surprise Mary? How about Mary doesn't know about this? How about you just say, hey, Mary, you know what? Let's not get this photo booth. And the other day of, you get the photo booth. You show her you at the photo booth.
Mhm.
How much of a hero would you be? And you definitely be like, oh shit, I'm gonna be a
Right.
total hero.
Yeah.
I'll be Superman.
I'm
And
gonna
then
be
you say,
satisfied.
but do you see what I mean, Marion? So you're tackling the red in him by going around to Mary and saying,
Wow.
look, you're gonna be Superman because Mary's gonna love this because she is a social butterfly, because she has all the friends, because she has all the family, and this brings her community. This brings her love, and you are gonna be a Superman. And let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. This is not gonna just happen for tonight. You're gonna be Superman for a lifetime. You know why? Because she's gonna see those photos, and all those photos will be with her for the rest of her life on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever. And you're always gonna be that superhero every time she thinks about those photos.
Mhm.
Oh, brilliant.
That's great.
Yeah, that's why I'm good at sales.
Yeah.
So, but does that make sense though? So that's how
Yeah.
you would tackle a red, even though he's not, because your photo booth is all about the yellow and the blues.
Yes.
It really is. Let's be honest. It's the yellows and the blues. For the greens, we're not trying to make it a cheaper photo booth. We're trying to raise your prices here.
Yes.
So for the greens, you got to find out, okay, is there a yellow or is there a red is there a blue or a yellow in any of the photo booth? You know what I mean?
Yes.
In any of the people. So if Bob has no yellow or blue in him, well, does his fiance or does his parents? Hey, Bob, I know you and Susie don't hate photo booths. I know you guys hate photography. I know you guys don't have many friends. But let me tell you this: your mom raised you, right, Bob? Yeah. Listen, your mom's gonna have a bunch of her coworkers, a bunch of her girlfriends, a bunch of people from her church who that means the world to her. So don't get a photo booth for you and Mary. Get the photo booth for your mom.
Aw, yeah, that's
Aw.
great.
But does that make sense?
Yeah, and then
So
in turn,
Yeah, it
obviously
does.
that's obviously touching my emotional side,
yeah, because you love your mom.
and it's feeding my ego because like you're gonna be the hero of the day.
Yeah.
Just think about it, and you're painting the picture.
So exactly. So that's not something so key. So for your particular business, if you can't tackle the red, the blue and the yellow in someone, find out who's blue and yellow in their family. Does that make
Got
sense?
it. Yes.
And that comes with a consultation. And so Jennifer Meme, so you got it for you too, right? So this is good stuff. All right, guys,
Okay.
good job.
All right, guys. So obviously we're going just over an hour now. So if there's not anything else, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, so if you basically, this is where it was a great training, very interactive. So if you understand a red, and you will be able to, and basically if you understand a red, you're gonna be able to connect with them a whole lot better. You're gonna be able to close that red personality like a whole lot better, and because you know what they're looking for, right? You know what they're looking for. You know you're starting to be able to mirror that person or mirror or feed. Obviously, you're gonna be able to feed their ego, feed what they're looking for, their bottom line, and what's in it for them, kind of personality. So so obviously, if you're an analytical person, it's time to mirror that red. You know what I mean? It's time to be super soft. If you're that super soft spoken person, it's time to raise your voice and put some power into it. So in closing, guys, if there's nothing else, the last thing I'd have to say is remember your product is although you have a company and you offer some kind of service, your product isn't necessarily financial services, video services, film services, or photography. Your product is going to be people. So does anybody have anything else before we close out?
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, me being personal trainer, how would I close people to join, to be trained?
Well, see, personal trainer, you're all red. It's all about being red because they're all competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They're all looking for their ego to look sexy, right? So it's really all about them. So really, personal trainers, like you ask the question exactly this. Every personal trainer I ever met. So why do you want to have a personal trainer? You ask them that, and they'll say because they'll tell you right there. Because I want to look toned. I want to look skinny. Oh, are you single? You're trying to get the girls, aren't you? For girls, hey, so you trying to look sexy for the summertime for the beach bikini, right? So you ask them what they're looking for, And Reds are all about their ego. Reds all about them. And for me, I'm not looking to be sexy, right? I'm already sexy. But what I'm looking for is my health. So you'd say, so Steve, you're looking to get healthy because you're looking to get healthy so you can be more productive. Because right now you're already operating at a 10. Now when you get healthy, Steven, you're going to be operating at 100. So imagine this is how much money you already achieved. Now imagine 5 times it, 10x of that with you get better health. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh wow, I have already achieved this much with my fatness. So what more can I achieve more when I get skinny or sexy? Right? Do you see what I'm saying, Ken? So attacking their ego for you is all key. Ego, all ego. All ego when it comes to Reds.
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
And if you ever need more help with that, if anybody else needs help, even the future watchers of this, feel free to reach out to me through Facebook. Search for Jeff Rowland. Go on jeffrowland.com. Reach out to me there. Set up an appointment. And with that being said, guys, it was great to have you guys on. Again, Jeff Rowland with Stegela Success Mastery. Let me do one quick snap, and we will be done. All right, guys. See y'all later.